Hello investors, I'm just Randy and I'm back with another video update on Proterra, or ticker symbol ACTC. I want to cover the most recent news that just came out. Proterra is selected in electric bus contract by Washington State Department of Enterprise Services. I also want to show you how to get access to these contracts so you can look at competitors, price details, and master service agreements. Next, I want to talk about when is the merger happening. We'll take a look at the overview of going public using a SPAC. Lastly, I want to discuss risk and why this stock fell 14% in March, and now with this recent news, why didn't it move the needle? First, just a little background on the company. Proterra is an electric vehicle EV company with a focus on buses, creating both buses for schools as well as public transit. It's one of the largest EV bus companies in North America, serving 130 communities in the US and Canada. The company is led by Chairman and CEO Jack Allen. Now, in recent news, yesterday there was a news update titled Proterra selected an electric bus contract by Washington State Department of Enterprise Services. So what I wanted to do was just walk you through how to take a look at the current contract on the website. So the first thing you do is just type into your Google browser, Washington State Department of Enterprise Services. You can click on Contracts, then scroll down to Current Contracts. Then in here you can put buses. This is going to be located in 06719 for transit buses. And if you scroll down, you can see the heavy-duty bus contractors listed from Alliance Buses all the way down here to Proterra. Awarded categories 35-foot electric and 40-foot electric. If you want more information on the contracts, including pricing, you can click on the Access box. After clicking on the Access box, you've got individual folders with contract details. And here are the documents, everything from the certifications to the pricing sheets to the master contract, specifications, everything's listed here. And you can check these out for the competitors also. I was curious about competitor pricing, so I looked at BYD and Proterra, and here's what I found out. There's about a $200,000 difference in the prices between BYD and Proterra. In the Proterra overview slides, you can see that there are some distinct advantages to selecting Proterra versus other US-based competitors, Europe-based competitors, or China-based competitors. And BYD would be a China-based competitor with a delta or difference in price of almost $200,000. The next question I think a lot of people are asking is, when is the merger going to happen? There are 3 phases in the overview of going public using a SPAC. Phase 1, planning. Phase 2, the process execution, where we're at now. February, the S4 was filed, so this would put us in May or June for close. Then Phase 3, the company goes public. Keep in mind the ArcLight and the Proterra SPAC merger, just news of this alone, the stock was up 68%. This deal was set to value Proterra at $1.6 billion after the SPAC merger closes. This is when the ticker symbol will change from ACTC to PTRA. The two companies are expected the deal will close in the first half of 2021. As news approaches of this SPAC merger being completed, I believe this could push the price back up towards that previous $31. However, as was the case with many SPAC, IPOs, and growth stocks, the mini bubble burst in March as a faster vaccine rollout caused concerns over inflation, with long-term interest rates rising during the month. Rising interest rates are especially bad for growth stocks, with most of their earnings off in the future, and ACTC was not spared. Let's talk about the battery shortage. Not helping matters is the battery cell shortage in the commercial electric vehicle space that is currently affecting all players involved. While Proterra hasn't commented on the shortage, several of its peers have. For example, Tesla CEO Elon Musk said the current cell shortage may have delays in production of the company's semi-truck. We simply do not have enough lithium batteries. The US is building the equivalency of one gigafactory every 4 months, whereas China is building one per week. China has nearly 100 battery manufacturing plants, where the US has only 4. If the current trends continue, the US will continue to fall far behind and can't possibly rely on China for batteries. This would not only be a cost concern, but it would also become a national security issue. I want to be an optimist and say everything came together and we decided to come up with a plan today. There would still be a temporary shortage. You have to acquire the land, environmental permits, construction, then begin operations. It would take a minimum of 2 to 4 years. So the White House is aware of the issue, and they did publish an executive order on America's supply chains dated February 24th. The Secretary of Energy, in consultation with the head of appropriate agencies, shall submit a report identifying risk in the supply chain for high-capacity batteries, including electric vehicle batteries, and policy recommendations to address these risks. The ion battery supply chain has been an Asia-centric industry. The supply chain up to the battery cells in the US does not exist. This is going to be one of the biggest growth industries in the 21st century. The ion battery market is valued at $50 billion and is expected to reach $200 billion by 2030. Australia is the largest producer of raw lithium, followed by Chile, China, and Argentina. Other key battery elements include cobalt, manganese, nickel, and carbon graphite. These are mined in large quantities in China, Indonesia, South Africa, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Most of these materials are then shipped to China, where they complete 80% of the world's refining, 77% of the world's battery cell manufacturing, and 60% of the world's battery component manufacturing. China has quickly surpassed everyone in the race for EV adoption. Final thoughts on Proterra and ACTC. I still believe it's a buy. I believe this company specifically is a leader in their industry. They're focused on the buses. And I believe that this is a niche market, which we do have some competition, but I believe that they have a proven technology. They've got manufacturing facilities. They have manufacturing for the battery. They have a recycle location. They've got signed contracts. I've got a lot of faith in this company, and I think that this is a great price right now. If it was to dip down a little more, I wouldn't be concerned. They're going to have to overcome some challenges. Everyone's pulling on the same resources. But something that I would like to end with is you should really take a look at the China EV stocks like NIO because of the advantage that they have with their infrastructure. It's just so much more robust than the US, and I see those stocks really surprising some investors. So I guess my last comment would just be, what do you think this means for China EV stocks like NIO? Go ahead and leave me a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.